In this short take, I will show you the N4V for WebI navigation widgets for single values, radio buttons, drop-down lists, and menu buttons. For those of you who may not be aware of our feature set, I wanted to quickly review the need for this solution for SAP BusinessObjects Web Intelligence. N4V widget integrates new data visualization components and navigation features, enabling advanced dashboarding in Web Intelligence. N4V Maps allows the integration of offline and online maps, as well as custom plans directly into Web Intelligence. N4V Analysis is a powerful pivot table with integrated charting for in-depth data exploration. And finally, N4V Publisher is designed for distributing information outside of the SAP Business Objects platform. The radio button is one of several navigation widgets available in N4V for WebI. Navigation widgets allow on-screen interaction with the dashboard, whether hosted in Web Intelligence or exported as HTML. The radio button gets its filtering capability by being mapped to a single value Web Intelligence input control. The drop-down list and menu button navigation widgets work in a similar manner. How is this accomplished? To begin, I'll create an input control using the Web Intelligence filter bar. Radio button sets single values, so I'll set the type to list. Next, I'll drag the year object from the data dictionary onto the Web Intelligence canvas, creating a table block. I'll right-click and choose Turn Into, then click on the Custom Elements button. From the navigation folder, I'll choose the radio button widget. The radio button widget provides on-screen help on what to do next. It's asking me to map the element to an input control. To do this, simply right-click on the radio button widget and choose Format Custom Element and Extended Parameters at the bottom of the menu. Open the Controls panel and enter Year, the name of the input control. The name must be entered exactly how it appears in the input control definition. Next, open the Values panel. Under Set a Default Value, set default value kind to add an all values on first position, and then directly underneath you can customize the label as all years instead of the default all values. Finally, position the radio button widget above the other three widgets and resize into a thin horizontal shape. Now, I will test the radio button by choosing custom element interactions from the Web Intelligence toolbar. This will allow me to interact with the dashboard as a user and not as a designer. Notice how when I choose a year that the dashboard is now filtered by year, but also so is the input control and the radio button. So this is a common mistake, and let me show you how to resolve the issue. So I'm going to open up the input control panel, and by default, the input control is usually set to filter the entire document or the entire current report. And what I want to do is uncheck the current report, and I want to set all of the controls with the exception of I want to leave the box next to the radio button unchecked. So this excludes the radio button widget from the behavior of the input control. And so now all values are present no matter how I filter. Okay, the drop-down list widget can be used instead of a radio button. So to begin, I'm going to duplicate the radio button report that I was working on. And it's a best practice to turn widgets back into vertical tables before changing the widget type. So I'm going to turn it into a table. And then I'm going to go back to the custom elements navigation folder, and I'm going to choose the drop-down list. So just like before, now we need to map the drop-down list widget to an input control. So I'm going to go into the extended parameters and controls, and I'm going to enter the control year. And I also want to go to the values panel, and just like I did before, I like having all values as one of the possible selections. Okay, so the drop-down list doesn't take as much space, so I'm just going to position it over one of my other dashboard widgets. And let's test it out. So you can see I can change the year and just go check a value on the drill bar report just to confirm that it's changed. All right, so that's looking really good. To conclude the demonstration, I'm going to show how to use the menu button widget as a single value filter. So just like before, I'm going to duplicate the report, and I'm going to turn the drop-down widget into a table first before turning it into the menu button. So the menu button is in the navigation folder with all the other N4V for WebI navigation elements. And so just like the other two, I need to map it to the desired input control in the controls panel. So I'm going to type in year. And once again, I'd like to have an all values. And so I'm going to set that up in the values panel and set it to all years. Okay, now the menu button widget is interesting because it provides the illusion of surrounding all of the other controls on the dashboard, or at least the ones that are affected by the year control. So I'm going to resize the menu widget, and then I'm going to send it to the back. So it's going to provide that really nice illusion that the radio button is controlling the behavior of the other three widgets. Okay, so you can see as I select different years, it causes the controls to be filtered. So you really have some options here in terms of filtering on a single value. We demonstrated the radio button. We also showed that a drop-down list or the menu control could also be used if desired. All right, so these are just some of the over 60 widgets available in N4V for WebI. We encourage you to visit our homepage at need4viz.com, where you can access a fully interactive demonstration. If you enjoyed this video, click the like button and share it with your coworkers. Be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any updates. You can also follow Need4Viz on LinkedIn and X.